I invite Professor Amartya Sen, Thomas W. Lamont University Professor and Professor of Economics and Philosophy, Harvard University, to deliver the special address.
I am really delighted to be here on the occasion of this really important book that Professor Raj Kumar has produced under his stewardship as a collaborative effort of a number of remarkable scholars to deal with one of the really puzzling problems in India, namely, why is it that the quality of higher education has remained so deficient in many ways, despite the amount of thought that has gone into it, and despite also, as Raj Kumar also points out, a historical tradition whereby this country had the world's oldest university, namely Nalanda. So the question is, why has there been a problem? And the problem is quite outstanding, very easily detectable. If you take a list of universities in terms of quality, they're all imperfect. But if you still take an approximate judgment and look at several lists and compare them, Times Higher Educational Supplement produces one, and many others, what you do find is, of the top 200, indeed in the top 400, there isn't a single Indian university. Now, of course, most of them are Western, and many of them are in America and Europe, but not always so. Japan, China, Korea, even Hong Kong and Singapore have a number, 3, 4, 5, 6 universities that qualify to be in the top 200. We don't have a single one. Why not? The way the university system has developed in India and that going to the colonial time, and the colonial tradition plays a part in that, there was always a fear of giving autonomy or independence to the university. It had to be controlled. And since most of them are government universities, in fact all of them until recently, and then we take this opportunity of congratulating the Jindal family for being open-minded and going into an area where business had often not got in, and there are a few of them now. But if it meant is that if you did something which is not in line with what the government wants, then you cannot continue. It becomes very difficult. This is not new with the present government or anything like that. I mean, it was true of the colonial time. It was true with the previous government. We could discuss whether it is stronger now and stricter now than before, but I'm not going to go into those subjects, and it's very easy in India to hit the headlines. To examine how important autonomy and freedom has been in the making of universities in Europe and in America, Japan. So oddly, it doesn't, in India is a country with much more freedom than in China, and yet the governance has a much greater degree of autonomy in China than it has in India, and has traditionally had from the colonial time. It's a colonial legacy which we have continued, and I'm afraid the time has really come for that legacy to be changed that way, because you would not have the big universities, great universities anywhere in the world if it were run like a government department. Now, I think this raises a very deep question. I'm, of course, very keen on believing that freedom is central to almost everything. I've even written a book arguing that development was similar or same in some ways as freedom. And so those words of Tagore, that's where the mind is held, where the mind is free and the head is held high. That's good for the country, good for the well-being of people. It's good for a university too. But these are major issues that have to be addressed. And I'm glad that among many other issues that Raj Kumar's edited book discusses, there is also this question of the role of private universities. And of course, it's very appropriate that Jindal University's Vice-Chancellor should take that position. So I would stop here with a plea for freedom. I sometimes I'm told that I'm always saying the same thing, grumbling about the same things, namely lack of freedom and lack of and the presence of poverty, inequality, and so on. Today I'm not talking about poverty, well, excepting of education, and it is really a very important question about what the private sector, what the government, what the businesses can do in this respect. And they have done a lot. I happen to work for a private university. And so I end, first of all, for thanking the President for being here. It's always a delight to see the head of the country taking an interest in a really central issue that interests educationalists like me. But I congratulate all the authors, and particularly for the stewardship. I congratulate the editor and I take it the idea in whose head the idea germinated, namely Raj Kumar. So congratulations. Thank you.